Well, your brothers go to war and you sit your behind here? That's what Moses is saying. You got to correlate that with many of us today. You got some brothers in the war, in this fight, and other brothers just sitting back.
He's even brought his pockets out here to try to get you to understand, to start doing his laws, statutes, and commandments. Where are they? Who are they? Look, this world was given to them, all because of what we didn't do. They act like you do, but when it all comes down to it, I guarantee they choose their people over you. You are the children of Israel. That's right. God's chosen people. If we keep breaking God's law, that's going to be our ruins. That's going to be our destruction. Social injustice, economic justice. We don't care about pleasing the Most High God. We hate God. That's the final issue. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 48. We'll continue with that, because this is how you identify yourself. We teach our people repentance, nationality, and the law. All right, read. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 48. Therefore shall thy serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he has destroyed thee. Now, I read that again because my brother did an excellent job at breaking it down for you, old and new. All right? He's letting you know that we're yet this day in our captivity, and we still struggle. But this was written thousands of years ago to let you know that it's going to be a sign upon you. You understand? Read the next verse, 49.
Bring it up.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. He said he's going to send somebody from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Right there.
You see that? You see this eagle? Who has the eagle as their representative throughout their entire existence? You have the Greek existence. We was in Greek captivity. The Roman captivity, they have the eagle. You have the Spaniards, the conquistadors who came way from Portugal and Spain to come and enslave our brothers, the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. And now what do you have here? You can probably reach in your pocket and grab one of these. It's America, Babylon the Great. They came and enslaved us also. So why do we even trust our enemy to tell us that they don't hate when it's all through their history books? We have thousands upon thousands of photos that show us getting lynched, that show these enemies, these people who are nothing, taking our children. And those curses are identified in Deuteronomy 28. If you ain't reading this, then you don't know who you are. You can have $2 billion and you still are poor because you don't know who you are. This is the true wealth. You can put that down, soldier. Read. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. We didn't understand their language. All they did was come over here and read something that was actually put out by their government, a contract by their government. The natives didn't understand that. The so-called Hispanics didn't understand that. But they got slaughtered for it anyway. Convert or die. They came with a sword in one hand and the image of the beast in the other. You understand that? That's how they conquered us. We didn't understand who this pale-faced man is. We do now, though, because we standing up and we waking up. We know that's Cesare Borgia. We know that he's the son of Pope Rodrigo Alexander VI. We know who that devil is now. We lifted up the skirt. We know who he is, and that's who they came with to put us in subjection. Read. A nation of fierce countenance. Fierce countenance. A fierce countenance is somebody who don't give a damn about you or your children or your ancestors, your forefathers, the age. They had them in the cotton field too. When you was old enough to walk and pick a bowl of cotton, that's what you were doing. It didn't matter if you had any type of disparaging injuries if you were an older person, because you was out there getting it too. You had to hustle too. They would say, look, if you don't pick a bale of cotton today, we're going to beat your grandkids, your kids, and your cousins. That's a nation with fierce countenance. Right. They don't give a damn. Who is that? We know who it is. It's a rhetorical question at this point. Wake up, Israelites. Read. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. So we just went over that. Moses wrote that in the 5th book of the Bible thousands of years ago. He wrote that to the Israelites, who it pertains to. So there should be no question who the lost sheep of Israel are to this day. Read. Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle. So he came here and ate the fruit of the cattle. He took the livestock of the people who were already over here living good. Yeah, that was going off, and that's why the Lord sent that nation against them, because they had their own stuff. All right? The Native Americans had their own cattle. They knew how to live off the land. Right. But this nation came against them. The so-called white man, the Edomite, the Spaniard, the plague came over and took their cattle. Read. Right. And the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed. He took the fruit of the land, man. Even to this day, you have the so-called Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar. They're in the field to this day, in the orange groves. Right. They're in the orchards. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28, verse 16. Read.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city. Cursed shall thou be in the city. So if you see a so-called Mexican, our brother Issachar, when they're in the city, they hanging out at the Home Depot because they can't get work. They got pushed out. They got pushed out by these people who call themselves the greatest thing that ever was on earth, when we know that they're the worst thing that ever happened on earth. Right. And now, cursed in the field. And cursed shall thou be in the field. How do you go in the field? Your entire family work all day in the hot sun in an orchard or in a strawberry patch, and all you come away with is enough just to eat for the next 2 days. That's slavery. Right. That's still to this day. We haven't changed that thing. That's why when you buy coffee, it says fair trade, because down in South America, they make them do it for pennies. Our brothers Asher, our brother Zebulon, they're in these fields to this day, and you don't see it. The media has it blacked out because they know that they're taking over and they're using us to gain profit. That's still to this day. Right. They have us in subjection. Give me Deuteronomy 28:68. Read. Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Who came over here in Egypt, aka bondage and ships? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans all went somewhere on ships after this nation with a fierce countenance came. They sent some of the so-called Puerto Ricanos to Hawaii. They sent a bunch of the Native Americans over to Europe, and you can see that. We have pictures of that, of them on steamboats still in the late 1800s. Going
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this and join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.